Hello everyone, welcome to the erotic adventures of the Wystery Wachine. The Eldritch adventures of the Wystery Wachine, as none of you know, because none of you have been watching this, although I have had a few views, so maybe there are a few people who are checking us out of curiosity. And in the last session, our intrepid adventurers, investigators if you will, found themselves cowering in the attic after being attacked by a pseudopod, which is a good word, and is our word of the week. Our number of the week, of course, is 69. No, I'm kidding.
Wasn't Jimmy Savile a pseudopod?
Really? 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 It took all of 30 seconds, and Carl had to bring up something inappropriate.
Have you seen the stage directions in the bottom right corner as well?
Yes, I have, and I'm pointedly ignoring them.
I see, okay.
So, cowering in the attic, our investigators have perhaps been cornered by a giant slug. That's what you think it was. Who knows? Shall they escape with their lives? Shall they destroy the giant slug? We shall soon find out. Okay, so you're in the attic. What are you doing?
On my own.
Cowering.
Squelching noises.
You're listening for squelching noises.
Now I'm going to go and investigate on my own any squelching noises.
Well, that's par for the course so far.
So you've essentially just pulled me out of the owner's tomb, Crazy Man's tomb, right?
Yes. Previous owner's tomb.
So I think that we were pondering leaving and trying to get some weaponized salt to try and come back and fight this thing with.
Okay.
We were advised not to go downstairs, though, so...
Well, there wasn't really advice.
Well, I feel like we were shown some train tracks that said don't go downstairs on them. I don't know, I had the feeling it was a distinctly bad idea.
I think we should try and escape out of the windows on the floor below and drive away, escape out to the front.
Do we literally just want to escape, or do we want to... I suppose we don't really want to, actually fight this thing, do we?
Not
right
prepared.
No, definitely not.
You were grabbed by the master bedroom, but if we can get to the staircase, it's literally a straight shot from the top of the stairs out the front door.
I suppose...
Closed, but remember it... I'm metagaming, sorry. I felt attacked on the banister, didn't I? Whether or not I can articulate that it, whilst those doors are shut.
Well, I mean, if I wouldn't call it metagaming if Carl realistically believes that he was attacked by something.
He does.
I mean, you did dive out of the way because you had an overwhelming sense of danger.
Yeah.
So I think it's a justified feeling to say, I think something attacked me on the stairs, but I can't be sure.
Okay, so I would say that then, and that I don't think we are safe in that central banister area. But if we move fast, we did hear it retreat, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or receive.
And it does seem to be into people, it wants to attack people when they're by themselves. So what if we all, linked arms in a trio, or, so someone's facing in every direction?
So you're just going to go down...
Oh yeah, I suppose it could get us all at once.
Go down
My thinking on the matter is, this locked door... Sorry?
You're just going to go down the balcony area like a chorus line.
Yeah, exactly.
Just doing
my thinking is,
and jazz hands.
With this locked door, my thinking is, what if we just shoot it open with a shotgun and then just fucking leg it? It's a short skip from there to the staircase, and like I say, if we get to the stairs, it's a straight shot out the front door. Then we can get to B&Q, buy some bags of gritting sand or whatever. I don't know what B&Q is always my...
We're like serial killers. We go to B&Q.
Weird shit is happening. To the DIY store.
I was gonna say, I think comes from my working class white guy fucking B&Q. The solution is there. If not, Wilco.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I would personally Wilco first. B&Q's for the big guns.
Yes.
I think that there is a porch above the front door with a window that opens onto it. That might be the fastest way.
To get actually out.
Yeah.
And I suppose we could do it in a reasonable order where people who are not as good at climbing could get boosts and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be essentially quite an easy if there's a porch roof.
It's going to be.
It is only the first floor, so the absolute worst that could happen jumping from that is you'd hurt yourselves a little bit. You're unlikely to die jumping from the first floor window.
Oh yeah, because it's on the first floor, isn't it? Sorry, I was thinking it was.
Can I ask, Keeper, what's the temperature like in the house? Is it like higher than what ambient room temperature or lower?
You don't have a thermometer on you.
Well, I can tell if normal.
Yeah, it's been kind of damp and a little bit warm in here the whole time, but I mean it is summer, so it's not really that surprising.
Why are you trying to figure out if this thing is fire resistant now?
I'm trying to figure out if it would like go outside or if it like prefers its humid, wet area.
I would assume it prefers a humid, wet area, being that firstly it doesn't like salt, and secondly it came from the Amazon, right?
Well, who doesn't prefer a humid, wet area, eh?
Ayo.
Hi-oh. Yeah, so, I mean, it's speculation. Yeah, it's been... I mean, the whole house is kind of riddled with mould and moisture, so it's not really surprising that it's kind of moist in here. But yeah, you would say it's warm. But it is summer.
I'm just trying to think about whether or not it would pursue us outside of its...
I reckon it's too big to. I think it's as big as the house.
Yeah, it needs to bring us to it, doesn't it, with its tentacles?
Well, so firstly it needs to bring us to it, and then also, think about, like, how big is a giant squid, right? Giant squid tentacle washes up on the beach and it's 60 foot long. They estimate the whole squid to be, like, 120 foot. So, its tentacles are big enough to wrap around an entire human person. This thing is huge, right?
Just be one long tentacle with glands at the end.
Maybe. I mean, did you see that when it grabbed you?
I felt it.
Oh.
We're playing Call of Cthulhu, not Naughty Tentacles, the RPG.
Why you did so badly on all your rolls?
Perhaps that was deliberate. Oh no!
Oh.
Don't take me in the fireplace. I think that the best way to escape is out the porch roof, but I feel like shotgunning a door is one gonna draw its attention, and two might not certainly work.
I think the porch door is a good safe bet, and we know that the like trophy room is somewhat safe-ish. It at least doesn't have like a fireplace in it, and it can get up to the attic.
If it grabs us, we'll at least be able to hold on to like the banister, the landing banister, and maybe like somebody can like bite the tentacle or something if it does grab us.
Yeah, either way we're definitely gonna have to get some salt, right?
Yeah.
And also figure out how to even like, so if we're gonna come back,
okay,
what even is our plan of action gonna be?
Well, I've got a really good idea, but it will involve a time jump. When I was little, at school, we put like a little like snowflake shape in salt, and then it like salt water and evaporated it, and then the salt clung on it. We should make like salty clothes. So we should dip our like clothes in salt, let it dry out, and then you've got like tentacle retardant clothing.
You know, there's an artist who does that in the Dead Sea.
I mean,
well, this is taking a bizarre turn.
So, like, we're all gonna be going in like this. Hold up. There you go. That's what we're all gonna be looking like.
Okay, yeah. Salt clothes. Like, it's a salt tutu. I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, like salt Kevlar.
Salt Kevlar.
I was kind of thinking
I mean,
that.
you could just wear like a onesie and then like cover yourselves in like glue and then roll around in salt.
I think that's a better idea than waiting for it to like crystallize onto there, because that's going to take a long
What
time.
about if you wrapped yourself like a mummy, but in that fly paper and then rolled in salt?
Yeah, that would be a good one. So I
These are all
think
very
double-sided
bizarre
tape.
ideas, but quite hilarious. It must be said.
I feel like double-sided tape would be a more economical option than flypaper. But I like the spirit of the idea.
Okay, so you're all cowering in the attic. What are you going to do?
Let's make a run for it.
Yeah.
I've moved out the window.
I have to say I'm leaning towards out the window.
Sorry?
Yeah.
What was that, Nigel?
Hundreds of people. I said, let's go out the window. Groups of people are never wrong.
Okay. Alright, so you're going to go really fast? Are you going to lower yourselves into the trophy room carefully? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I think we want to go slowly and creepy, right?
Slowly to the door.
Slowly to the door of the trophy room.
And then we dash for it.
Yes.
Alright, so you carefully lower yourselves through the hatch in the trophy room. There's no roll required for that, because it's just like a ladder. And get to the trophy room door. Give me listen checks, everyone. None of you hear anything. The house is still and silent.
I haven't fired the shotgun yet, have I?
No.
So it's still got two shells in it.
Yes.
Okay. And Nigel has got a ceremonial spear.
Yes.
Okay. I'm happy to like maybe cover the first person that goes, just in case like they get tentacled. I can shoot them.
Shoot them with the tentacles.
The tentacles. But failing that, I'm happy to go first as well.
Okay.
I haven't got a weapon, so I'm quite happy to get out of here first.
Okay.
So, okay, can I... Have we made it just into the trophy room, or are we in the hallway?
You're in the trophy room. You're by the door to the hallway. This one here.
Okay. And yeah, that's where the porch thing is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
I
not
want
it's not a long distance.
I would like to listen at the door.
Okay, give me another listen check.
Sure thing.
You hear
It's
nothing.
a 49. Okay. I'm gonna very cautiously open the door and peek out my head.
Okay, you see nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna cautiously, carefully, quietly walk to the door that... oh, no, sorry, it's a window, isn't it? With the porch below it, and open the window.
Okay, give me a listen check. You hear a hideous, soft, sloshing sound from downstairs.
A sloshing sound
It's like a sloshing, squelching sound.
from downstairs.
From literally right downstairs.
So right below.
Okay, I don't like that, but I also don't want to mention it in case a tentacle busts up through the floor. Are they at the? Are you guys at the door?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you'd be able to hear me if I said in a... Okay, what I'm going to do is, instead of saying anything, I'm going to point to my ears, and then I'm going to point downstairs in an urgent fashion.
Okay, and you're looking back at them when you do this?
Yes.
Alright, so to your left would be the window, to your right would be the banister.
Yes. But I want to say my feet are still facing towards the window, I just turned my body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Alright.
and then... Oh, okay, go on, sorry.
So, Carl and Nigel, give me a spot hidden.
baby. Yeah.
Okay, Nigel. Carl, you don't see anything, but Nigel, you see through the open door, which opens inwards, so you can see the balcony from here. You can see uncurling towards the ceiling from the ground floor a long, thin tendril of clear liquid. It quests around a bit and starts gliding through the air towards Bernard.
I presumably am none the wiser.
Yes, because you're not looking at it.
If I just stare at it. Hooker, blah.
Nigel,
Locked on it. And I say to her, just fucking go.
Okay, I'm gonna just like literally leg it out the window. I'm gonna dive.
you're going to dive through the window.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a strength check.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh, it's a critical fail. Oh, it's a critical fail. Okay,
This
so you
is
smack
bad.
into the window and bounce off. You
Wait,
also take-
no. I said I opened the window. That was before I turned to listen. I specifically said I opened it.
Oh, right, did you? I thought you...
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I.
If you've opened it, then you've opened it, yeah, because the window is unlocked, so that's fine. I thought you were actually crashing through the window itself. All
No,
right.
I
So-
opened it before.
So
before
the critical fail is for your
second.
landing, then. So you land
Okay.
heavily. You land heavily and twist your ankle under. You take d6 damage.
Ooh.
I could say the porch roof collapsed.
No,
I
no,
think-
you dived over the top. So it was like a swan dive that just kind
Yes.
of you landed awkwardly. Yeah. So take 3 points of damage. You are now outside,
Okay.
however.
I am outside, and am I on? I take it I'm on the actual floor rather than on the porch itself.
No, you're on the floor.
I'm
So
on the
you're
floor.
on, you're
Okay,
on the
cool.
gravel outside.
I can't find my current hit. Where the heck is my current hit? Oh, there it is. Oh, jeez.
So can we just keep a tally? How many windows had Bernard gone flying out of?
I think it's just 2 at this
I think
point.
that's 2 right now. Yeah.
Two out of 3 adventures.
Yeah.
Love a window.
Love a window very much indeed. Pity they don't seem to love you very much.
I know. It's unrequited. We're getting there though.
They keep hurting you. It's like abusive boyfriends or something.
Poor Bernard. Just doesn't
Yeah.
learn.
All right. So Nigel and Carl, you are in the room with the door open. You can see this pseudopod questing towards you. Several more rise up from the ground floor area between the balcony and start kind of whipping through the air wildly.
They're now an obstacle in our.
You can
No,
see
ah.
kind of orbs
Just a
of
window.
darker matter forming on them, almost like eyes at random, and then disappearing back in. It's quite grotesque. And both of you, please take sanity checks. So Carl has failed. Lose D3 sanity.
Quite frightened of that thing now. But I don't need to roll for a seeing them check. They're like clearly there now.
Yeah, they're clearly there. There's multiples of them, and also Nigel yelling, "There's a tentacle! Fucking run!" helped you spot them quite
That's a
easily.
good point. I feel like closing the door is probably a good decision right now. What do you think, Nigel?
Yeah, I think we should close this door and run back into the attic. Personally.
I will point
Isn't
out
there-
that there are 3 windows, in fact, in the trophy room. They
Yeah, I was
are
talking-
not the same kind as the ones on that balcony, in that they don't open in the same way. But they are just single panes of glass in frames.
Well, I'm thinking we just go through the. Well, that's what I was about to say. Just go through. I assume there's a window on the front of the house.
Yep.
Let's shut the door and then just get out before it. Because I feel like it. You know, the guy said it was highly intelligent. The behaviour just there was almost like it was anticipating us trying to make a run for it.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just go ahead and make a run. For
You
it
hear a
for
noise
4
like
minutes.
something moving through the walls.
Oh dear. Jump through the window.
Through these windows, then that's what I would like to do.
Okay, so-
GTFO.
So what are you going to do? You're going to smash them? You're going to try and open them?
I'm going to try and open it quickly.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's stuck fast. It seems to have been sealed into the wall.
Smash it with my smash it with the shotgun. Smash it with the butt of the shotgun.
Do that.
Okay, so give me a strength check. Yeah, the window shatters. Jagged shards are in the frame. You
Right,
kind of
ones on the
you
bottom.
kind of rub the shotgun butt around to knock them all out. You can jump through. I will point out though that Nigel, you are kind of like hearing the noises in the wall, and you hear a kind of popping, cracking, creaking sound, and a pseudopod pops through the wall and extends towards you rapidly.
Got at it.
Yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Okay, so who's going out the window first?
How close to Nigel is it?
It's at the far end of the trophy room. It is rapidly approaching. Whoever goes out the window first will probably avoid it. Whoever goes out the window second may have to dodge it first.
Or big is it? Like, would it be very
Quick, you've got to make a decision. Like, the time is
Okay,
pressing. You can't ask questions.
Alright, I'll jump out the window.
Okay, so give me a dexterity check, please. Oh dear, what's going on here? You also land badly. You take a d6 worth of damage.
To be fair, it is quite high.
And now give me a luck roll.
Me.
Yep. You just jumped out. Oh, you just jumped out the window with a loaded shotgun.
No, because it was broken.
Was it? Because you put it back together so that you could cover them running through. It doesn't make sense for it to be broken.
It wasn't broken.
Okay, so you have failed the luck roll. You haven't failed on a spectacular failure, so you haven't shot yourself with the shotgun, but you have discharged the shotgun. So, as a consequence of that, I think what you should do is roll an attack roll against Bernard. It's going to be a reduced attack roll because the chances of you hitting are pretty bad, but please roll a shotgun attack.
In Bernard's defense, he's probably not anywhere near this window.
Well, he is, because Bernard is about here, and you're about here, so you're not that far away.
I just roll D100.
Yeah, roll a d100 and then apply it to your shotgun skill.
I'm gonna be very upset if I get shot.
I just got 97.
You just got 97.
Yeah.
Brutal, yeah, that's a critical fail. So,
I've
the shotgun goes off in Bernard's direction. Bernard,
Yep.
you can roll a dodge roll.
Thank you for at least giving me a chance at life.
I rolled 2 97s.
What's your dodge skill?
It's half of your dex, right? So my
Yeah.
dodge is 40.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of throw yourself flat and you feel the sting of the shotgun pellets as they go past you. You take 1 point of damage.
I'm on 8 HP now. I am not super healthy.
Yeah, you never jump out of the window holding a loaded shotgun would be the lesson to learn here, I think. Especially when you're rolling as badly as Carl is tonight. Okay, Nigel, the tentacle streaks towards you through the air, kind of the surface of it rippling almost like water, but thick water. What would you like to do? You can hurl yourself backwards out the window if you like. You can stab at it. You can do pretty much anything you like. Just try and dodge it.
I don't want to die by leaving this room by any attempts to bravery. I'm just gonna get out.
Okay. So how are you going to get out?
I'm just gonna hurl myself through the window.
All right. So give me a dexterity check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. So you don't critically fail, but you do take damage. So take 1d4 damage from the fall.
If he's falling out the window, isn't there a pretty good chance he's going to fall on me?
Yep. I was just about to say that. You didn't actually need to prompt that. So now make a luck roll.
Can I try and catch him?
You're kind of on your back, kind of tangled up, going ah. That's a pretty good luck roll though. So I think he's probably all right. So yeah, you managed to successfully not land on Carl, and kind of plop to the ground next to him, landing awkwardly and taking some
He
damage.
landed on my emergency cushion rags.
You stuffed them under your butt so that you could land safely. You're all outside. The house from the outside looks completely, well, apart from the fact that it's decrepit and kind of semi-falling down, looks completely normal.
All limp. Since I gimped myself.
Yeah, do you want to head back to your van?
No, I want to go back in there and get...
Do we feel like we're safe outside?
No.
Well, you
No.
don't feel particularly safe right now. You feel very sore, especially Bernard.
Well, yeah.
Who
I'm
just
more
nearly
meant
got
safe
shot.
from like immediate attack or.
Do you feel safe? That's a question only you can answer.
I was asking the rest of the team.
Can I look at the window and see if there's
The rest of the team.
like, tried to follow Nige?
No, the tentacle hasn't proceeded out the window.
Interesting.
Thing is, before we GTFO, is it worth checking the guy's car? Because I have his car keys. For clues.
Yeah, I'd say
Oh yeah.
do we
Yeah.
need more clues?
That's true, do we? Do we just want to load up on salt and things?
We took those books, didn't we? Perhaps there's
Mhm.
something in them about the nature of this beast.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I'd say...
Yeah, the chest of books is still in the trophy room. It's a big chest of books. It's a box of books. You didn't carry it with you.
Oh, shit. I mean... Glands. Well, that's not good, is it? I feel like we could have planned this out better. Yeah, let's check out the car.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... Did I discharge both shells, or just one? Keep
There's a strange sound, and you see a fluid kind of rolling under the front door and the cracks of the windows on the ground floor.
Let's leave. Let's expedite
Yeah,
our
let's
leaving.
leave.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
hop into the Wystery machine.
All right. No problem. Yeah, you will get back to the van. Whatever it is seems to be fairly slow because it's kind of pursuing you, but slowly. So this sort of pool of like thick fluid is kind of gunking its way along the ground towards you, but you can kind of outpace it at a brisk walk.
thing is amorphous.
Amorphous. Well, yeah, it's kind of like glomped through everything, hasn't it? So glomped is tackler, so no, it's kind of like it's kind of like squeezed its way through the cracks of the door and everything.
So it's now outside.
At least part of it is, yeah.
How big is this puddle?
Well, it's more like a sort of like pool of slime almost. It's like 4 foot deep at least, and it's kind of like rolling forward, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. It's not like ending either. It's just coming out of the house.
We're now in the car, are we? We're in the van.
Yeah, you're at the van.
At the van. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get in to the driver's side and turn the engine on.
All right, you do so. What the rest of you doing?
Let's drive away. I'm already in the van.
Yeah, you're in the van. Okay, cool. Bernard?
I'm also in the van.
Okay, so you can drive off.
Is it worth trying to take a pot shot at it? Like with a shotgun, see if it does work?
Unless you miss and shoot Bernard.
Please don't shoot me again.
Well, I'll give the gun to Bernard if he's in the passenger seat and see what it does as I like start to drive away.
Okay, I'll take a pot shot at it.
Okay, roll a shotgun attack for me.
I think I have no gun skill. I have whatever base is.
I think it's 25, but this is going to be an easy shot. You're shooting at a big, wide area. Oh, that's a
Ooh.
critical success. So
Do I get a check on
you can
gun
put a
skills
check
now?
next to your shotgun skill. Yes.
Hey, I don't
You-
even actually have shotgun listed on my sheet. Should I put it as a specific thing, or is it? Oh wait, no, there we go.
Yeah, shotgun is a
Firearm.
specific.
Rifle, shotgun, got it.
Your aim is true, and you shoot at the creature or mass or whatever you want to call it, and the pellets sink into it and make no appreciable effect on it whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't think they would. It only hates salt. So, are we gonna go see that other guy now?
It's up to you. What do you want to do?
Oh, I was asking the mystery gang. I guess we want to go report into the other guy, right?
Right. I mean, we can call him and say we know what happened to your mate. He's dead.
Sorry, Nigel. Missed that one.
We found his mate's slippers. I
We
don't know
found
if
his
that's any use
slippers.
to him. Yeah.
We did actually bring the note with us, though, right? That he wrote.
Correct.
I don't know. I'm a tiny little bit suspicious about this. Part of me, a very small part of me, thinks we might have been sent as a meal to that thing rather than actually to investigate.
What if he is that monster? And
Well, yeah, either he is the monster or it's his big pet. Oh no, you're talking about the guy who's in the thing.
Cornflake, the man we were sent to find.
I don't think
He
Cornflake.
transformed into it.
No, Cornflake got eaten by the fireplace.
Yes, he did. Well, Castleford. I don't know. I feel like he's probably sincere. And I don't suspect him. I suspect it was something that they brought back, like you said, some kind of seedling of this beast, or something, some sort of lodestone that drew it. Because
I think there's easier ways to feed a thing than telling us the information that he did.
That is
sending
true.
us, so you could have sent anyone in.
He also
That's
said,
true.
I'm sure in the note Cornflake said it followed him, so they encountered it in this temple. Perhaps it was the guardian of the temple, or the temple was to do with it somehow. But it was almost like he'd encountered it in South America.
Yeah.
He was familiar with it. So I don't know. I mean, it's clearly highly intelligent. I think that I think it's a good idea to actually call and say we suspect he's dead.
Yeah, let's at least call him then.
And then we can work out what if anything, our obligation is after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's give him a call at least.
Okay. The phone rings several times, and the butler answers. Hello, Castleford residence.
Oh, who was actually on the phone?
You can put it on speakerphone if you want.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, is
Castleford residence.
that I can't remember the butler's name now. Jeffrey?
We'll go with Jeffrey because I can't remember the butler's name. Yes, it's Jeffrey. Is this Mr. Gibbons?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
What can I do for you, Mr. Gibbons?
We have some information regarding the fate
Mr. Cornthwaite.
of Mr. Cornthwaite. Yes.
Okay, and what information would that be?
Whilst we don't have a body, we suspect that Mr. Cornthwaite is in fact dead, and we very strongly believe this.
And what evidence do you have to suggest this?
We have a note written by Mr. Cornthwaite, which can we take photos and send them across? Is that 2009 tech?
Yeah, MMS was around in 2009, wasn't it?
Okay, so we're just sending a photo through to you now of the note, And the note reads, I can't remember what the note actually
To
said.
whom it may concern, I am writing this statement in the event of my joining my staff and my expedition members in death. I, Arthur Cornthwaite, being of sound mind and body. No time for formality or legalisms, it is the thing I must tell you of. What is sanity when faced with this? I thought I had fled from it in that foul green place, that accursed temple, yet somehow it has followed me here. I know the signs, there can be no mistake. It is with me. It is a thing so clever, so terrible that... Melodrama! What's the point? Notes to myself in an empty house. Whoever reads this knows, or will know, of it. But what you must also know is that it has a weakness so simple, so... And then it cuts off. Well, that doesn't really tell us anything whatsoever, merely that he presumably had some sort of crazed delusion. I shall certainly pass it on to the Master. Lord Castleford will certainly be interested to know, but what makes you think that the gentleman is dead?
We found the house abandoned, or seemingly abandoned, and in a state of considerable disrepair. His vehicle was still in the drive. There was no evidence of that he'd set out on an expedition.
Well, there must be some mistake. I mean, we were there literally 6 weeks ago, and the house was fine.
No, the house is damp. The house is wet. It's like someone's been running a humidifier in there 24/7.
Oh. Did we just lose someone off of Roll20? That's right. Carl is back. Well, I'm somewhat perturbed by such information, given that I was there 6 weeks ago and my eyes don't deceive me. I mean, do you have any rational explanation for this? And again, that does not really explain why you would think that the man is dead.
He said so in his note. That was our first clue.
That he is dead? I mean, how does one say in a note that you are dead?
His life was under threat. There's no evidence of any of his help or any of his staff members.
Very well. I shall pass this information on to Lord Castleford. But again, I must stress that without any proof that he is in fact deceased, there is very little that Lord Castleford can do. With some evidence that some foul play has occurred, I mean, presumably, given his exalted position, he could certainly call in the authorities. This note is scant evidence.
Well, these are our initial findings, and we want you to know that we believe this is where our investigation is heading. We also found yes, like I said, the house was in a state of extreme disrepair, and we will collect more evidence of this to demonstrate, and you'll be able to compare it to your memory of it of the condition it was in 6 weeks ago.
Very well. I would much appreciate this. This is, as I say, very little information to go on. I shall certainly pass it on to Lord Castleford. Thank you very much for the call.
I would just clarify that this was an update, not a debriefing. So
excellent. Okay, in that case, I shall speak to you shortly, I suppose. Good day. He hangs up.
What a knob.
If you don't believe in the supernatural, though, you would be like, so without a body, it's hard for us to say. Case closed.
Closed.
But I mean, I don't think we actually filmed the actual condition of the house, did we?
No.
And this is probably the only time we've said, we're not filming. We haven't said we're filming and taking photos.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Their own fault, really. I nearly mentioned the dead body of the previous owner, but I thought actually maybe we should keep that shut until the end.
Okay, so you are now, by this point, several miles away. What would you like to do?
Kill this thing, and I've got some very compelling ideas. Does anyone else?
Well, I already told you about my salt soup idea.
You did pitch that suggestion, Carl. It was awful.
You didn't like it?
No, conceptually I like it. Practicality-wise, I don't think that it's... although you did say it would involve a time skip, and we are being paid daily, so perhaps...
I mean, we could just do a more rudimentary, like, dipping ourselves in salt in a sticky substance, kind of. That wouldn't need a time skip.
I've just got weird images of Carl, like, greasing himself up with golden syrup and rolling around in a big bath of salt.
I was thinking a bath of treacle and salt. That's so weird. I had that image myself. Treacle man. Yeah. So what's your ideas then, Nigel? Sorry.
Are you familiar with the idea of bath bombs?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I'm thinking we make some bath bombs out of salt. Make some salt grenades from highly compacted salt that we can throw. That we can hold and won't just fall through our fingers, but should explode, if you will, on impact.
Is salticity a term? So it could have a high salticity. Is that a scientific term?
That's not a scientific term. Salinity is the word you want.
Yes.
No, I don't believe so. I believe salticity is the correct term.
Well, yeah, if you want to use the Latin.
I like salt bombs. I mean, how could we have salt fire? That's the real question. That I know that we're all thinking.
Fire?
Yeah. How do you...
Do we need to set it on fire though? It's so
Well,
damp in there,
you know-
nothing's going to actually go on fire.
Well, not to prompt you and things, but there are things that you can buy that will shoot out particles. Like, there's sandblasting as a thing.
Oh! I was thinking about just filling the weed
Shotgun
sprayer
salt.
with salty water as well, but I think, like,
We can do all of them.
Go for a ghetto version, get like a weed, not a weed sprayer, like a leaf blower. Put a tray of salt in the front of it.
Or an actual sandblaster.
Maybe we should just get a sandblaster.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Who came up with that?
Well, you were kind of dancing around the point, and I didn't want to be here for 20 minutes while you kind of tried to figure it out and then came up
We figure out what a sandblaster is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well... Is there a B&Q in Gamwell? Is it actually called Gamwell?
Yes, there isn't a B&Q in Gamwell, but there is one in...
What about home base?
There is a home base in a town a little way off. Just
Home base?
Yeah, just because we're equal opportunities, we're not going to advertise one place too strongly.
Well, home base is still in existence in 2000.
Well,
Home base?
that's exactly why I said it.
Home
yeah.
base, if you want to sponsor us.
Sadly, they're closed.
Damn.
So a sandblaster. What is a sandblaster? I'm going to
A sandblaster is not a million miles away from a one of the weed sprayers, except it's actually powered. And what it does is it sort of fires out a high pressure. A high pressure jet.
Of sand.
Yeah, it's basically like a pressure washer, but what it does is it sprays out like dust or sand or whatever you fill it with, really, as long as it's the right coarseness. And you use it to clean things, so like dirt, pavement.
Yeah, it's for like and you like finishing stuff as well, right? You'd like sandblast it to get a certain texture.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have a massive degree of range, but it does sort of kick things out with a bit of force.
I want to get like a lab coat or something, like an overcoat, and I want to you cover it in like glue and then salt as well.
Sure.
I
want to do the same thing, but with a green morph suit onesie.
Okay.
One that goes over your head.
Yeah. Maybe like a flesh-coloured one, actually. That might be good.
Were they around?
Yeah,
Actually,
people
what-
have been using them for green screens forever.
Yeah,
What
more
about
so.
if we're in a small village in the English countryside?
I'll order
What-
it from Amazon.
What about like blue fumigators overalls?
Yeah, those are
kind of
probably
work-made overalls.
actually. Yeah,
I'm gonna go for them. Yeah.
Those are probably actually much more accessible. We get some
Okay.
in B&Q while we're there.
And presumably a shit ton of salt.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bags
like
of salt, bags
so
of
much salt, so much salt.
Okay, yeah, I'm good with that.
And then also a sandblaster for me. So I want to be like basically like a salty Ghostbuster.
I was just about to say you're gonna look like a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Man, we're having so many like great minds moments today.
We're finally syncing as a team.
We're drift compatible now.
It only took how many near-death encounters and falling out of a window and
Okay,
Yeah.
we're
so
getting there.
so are you gonna go straight back to the house once you bought all this stuff and
Oh.
put it together?
Whilst we're buying the stuff, I was gonna ask if now would be okay for us to take a small 5-minute break.
For sure. Yeah, we can do that.
I just thought it'd be a good time rather than when we're all being eaten by tentacle monster.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. So 5
Okay,
minutes break.
excellent.
We shall reconvene in 5 minutes. You have acquired your purchases and started putting them together.
Yay.
Toilet until that came up, so that was quite handy.
Yes.
Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Your pain is the breaking
And so we return. And so we return to the cracked and crooked house.
Was it just me back?
Yes, I believe so.
I was going to say, out of curiosity, what would have happened if we'd have entered that house initially and all been like split up and searched the house?
What do you think might have happened?
Would it have attacked us straight away?
Quite possibly.
That naughty beast. I've got a 40k game tomorrow.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Like a socially distant one.
a socially distant 40k. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Who are you playing against? Like, what army?
It's my friend Jay, and it's his Sisters of Battle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it should be fun.
Yeah, lots of flamers.
I'll take some photos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do.
he's got a couple of exorcists as well, which are the big, horrible artillery tanks.
Yes.
They shoot rockets out of their church organs.
Yep, they're kind of awesome. I put my Chaos Spawn together yesterday, so...
Nice, you got any pictures?
No, I'm going to decide what tails to give them first, and then I will put pictures. I'll send you some pictures.
Is this for Death Guard?
Yes.
Do they fall under like demons, Chaos Spawn, or?
No, they've got quite wacky rules actually. They like randomly determine how much they move and how many attacks they have per turn and things like that. One of them is like covered in tentacles, and the other one is covered in like insect legs and has like a tentacle for a face.
Well, that's very notable.
Yeah, so they're kind of cool looking, I think.
Well, Death Guard have just had their Psychic Awakening, haven't they?
Yep.
Interesting.
I may or may not have ordered the book.
What, the Death Guard book?
The Psychic Awakening book that contains
Yeah.
Fabius Bile and the new Death Guard stuff. But yeah, it's not out yet. It comes out on the 20th. So
Is he Chaos Undivided though? He's not really.
Fabius Bile. Fabius Bile
Yeah.
was an Emperor's Children Marine.
Ah.
He kind of went off on his own. Doesn't worship Slaanesh. He just likes doing fucked up things with genetics and things like that.
He's a bit of an atheist, isn't he?
Yes.
I'm back, by the way.
Hello.
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 Nigel, are you returned?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Bombs. I feel like the last piece of the puzzle is salt bombs, salt grenades. Is there a feasible way that we can make salt grenades?
Well, you tell me. I mean, that's not the kind of thing that I'm going to explain to you. If you can think of a way of making something that will explode with salt, then by all means.
Our options are, for coolness, compacting the salt heavily so that it stays together. Whether that'll work or not, I don't know. For practicality, probably just filling a load of like thin Tesco own brand sandwich bags with salt and tying a knot in them.
Are they going to break if they hit a soft surface, though?
What, like
They usually do.
a bath bomb? Yeah, they break if you so much as look at them.
Keep them together.
How are we gonna make them into cakes, though?
You use like oil.
I
Use
thought it was
cooking
like-
oil.
Oh, really?
It would be some sort of oil base, yeah. That's what we use
Interesting.
for caking stuff.
What, we just smush them into...
Yeah, and then as the oil dries, it kind of bonds it. Egg is actually quite good for that as well, raw egg. I'm just thinking about like burger patties, though, to be honest. I think about burgers a lot. But I'm thinking, how do we? I would like something that actually explodes, like salty dynamite. I don't know how to make actual explosives, unfortunately.
Salty dynamite. Actual explosive.
Salty granados.
How are we gonna make a salty granado?
To the
I don't
library.
think that's an option for us.
None of us are explosive experts or even amateur chemists. Aren't you a chemist?
I am a chemist. I am a bit of a chemist.
Can you roll for salty granado?
I don't know. Can I roll for salty granado?
You can roll against your chemistry skill if you like.
Like IRL. I feel like I could improv an explosive with my chemistry knowledge, maybe. Like, you just need two things that explode, keep them apart in a thing, and then when you chuck the thing they touch, they explode.
That's your chemistry skill.
My chemistry skill is 41.
Yeah, roll against it.
Cool.
We change our van.
I critically failed.
How many are we on today?
Quite a few. You perform several experiments and none of them work.
Didn't perform one experiment.
Sodium is flammable, isn't it?
What's flammable?
Is sodium flammable at all?
Sodium isn't, but the alkaline metals are. So you could
Sure.
have like something, but I don't know how you would commercially get hold of any of it because they're all restricted substance.
The concern with an actual explosive would be that the salt would just burn up before it.
Sodium
But salt needs to be the
itself-
bulk of it.
Sodium by itself is highly volatile, but sodium
Yeah,
chloride
so salt is sodium chloride, yeah.
is stable.
But
Right.
sodium is not salt. Salts are metals and non-metals together. With I think with a covalent bond, but don't quote me on that.
Learning with Cthulhu.
So,
Like I
why
said,
don't
today's
we-
word is pseudopod.
What about? No, to be honest, the sandblaster is effective, but I just wanted something to like clear the room before we entered it, kind of thing.
Well, what
Himalayan salt lamps.
if we literally just had salt in things that explode on impact? So in containers so then they would just like you know, if you lob something, it explodes. It's gonna spray it everywhere.
Just like
It doesn't need
thin-
to actually be a powered explosive.
just like thin glass bottles.
Yeah,
With like
yeah,
thin
like
sandwich bags.
even sandwich bags, like
That's
literally like
that's what I
brown
said.
paper bags. Yeah, that would work perfect. I googled salt bomb and all I got was salted nukes or bath bombs are our options apparently.
Okay.
I want mine in glass bottles. I'm ready to move on. I've got glass bottles filled with salt.
Yeah, I'll go with glass bottles as well.
In a bandolier.
Oh, we're going for that again.
Yes.
At least this time
yeah. Salt
you can't fall on them and explode them.
I can't burn my own face off this time.
Yeah.
Like a load of glass salt shakers from IKEA.
Yes.
Alright, so with the glass salt shakers, what are you going to do? Just like take the caps off and lob them?
Well, I'm using glass bottles, so I'm not part of this conversation.
Yeah, I was using glass bottles as well.
Okay, so yeah. You head back to the house, I guess?
Yes.
I was thinking we should maybe speak to the newspaper guy and then maybe rest because I'm like on 6 hit points.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I'm on like 8, so maybe we should tell someone we're gonna die.
If I take a dodgy D6 roll, I'll be like on the floor, like getting melted by like and seeing enemy tentacles.
Okay, so there is a budget hotel nearby that you can stay at if you want.
Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, for getting a good night's sleep, you can add 1d4 hit points back to your totals.
Ooh. Hey,
Nothing.
Alright, so
Hit
Bernard.
points missing.
Yeah, it's only to missing hit points.
Yeah.
So you can't take it over your total.
No, I was gonna see if there was any way I could like overflow it to someone else, or I don't know.
No, you can't.
give them your tea.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you can't.
That's fair.
Bernard, you wake up feeling sore. The fresh cuts on your back from the shotgun shot that passed within a whisker of taking your head off sting somewhat.
My
And,
ankle hurts as well.
and you are all quite sore in the legal regions after your
So
jump out of the window. You're all feeling particularly salty about the whole thing. Wait.
Ew.
can I do we want to go and check out the newspaper office? Because obviously there was that erroneous thing published. If there is a conspiracy, which obviously we haven't really had much evidence of there being one, that may be information there. You know, whoever published that story. Hello?
The erroneous meaning
learn
he didn't
anything.
go on the expedition.
Well, they said, oh, he's gone off on another expedition now, hasn't he?
I
So,
thought he did go off on an expedition and came back, and this is the result of the coming back.
Yeah.
No, I think he never left, and it said, oh, that's why he's gone missing, because he's gone on an impromptu expedition. So it's like almost like somebody's covering up the fact that he's disappeared. And that's why Castleford wanted us to investigate, because he said, well, I don't usually he consults with me and we discuss the expedition before he goes, and this didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
So he said it was very out of character, and that's why he wanted us to investigate, because he didn't believe that he'd gone on an expedition without speaking to Castleford, who is his sponsor, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe we should go speak to the
His
newspaper man
patron.
then.
Just in case there's another layer to this that we've not picked up on.
Sure, you can go to the local newspaper if you like.
Yeah, it's first thing in the morning. We've got time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, yeah. So you head down to the newspaper office, which is in a pretty decent sized town. And it's quite bustling. There's like a dozen people sitting at desks typing away furiously at computers. You can see a reception desk at the sort of front of the room, with kind of a partition between that and the press room proper. It's like glass wall essentially with a glass door. And then at the back you can see an editor's office as well. And another door that is quite prominently marked with the words archive. Archive. That's not two words. It's not archive.
We know who the author of the newspaper cutting is.
Yeah, it's by Thomas. No, sorry, that's not right. It's by a Charlie Woodford.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk up to the receptionist. And I'm gonna say, "Good morning, madam."
It's a man.
I was. Good morning.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just winding you up. It's just because I didn't say what the receptionist was, and he said "Good morning, madam." So, yeah, we're just gonna go with this man just for a laugh.
Okay. Good morning, there. Good fellow.
Good fellow. He looks quizzically at you.
Instantaneously made you think we're weirdos. Or maybe, yeah.
Young fruity.
Is Charlie Woodford available? I've got some information for him regarding a story.
Let me just check. Yeah, he's in the press room. Go through third desk on the right.
Thank you very much, kind sir.
No problem. You freak. Okay, so he buzzes the door and the door clicks open.
Well, I'll go on through.
Okay, yeah, so the third desk on the right, there is a youngish looking man with like wiry blonde hair working furiously at his computer. He looks up as you approach. Hello?
Hi there, Charlie, yeah?
Correct, yeah.
Interested in the story you published about a week ago, I believe, regarding the most recent expedition of Mr. Cornthwaite.
Oh yes, Arthur. Yeah, he's a good friend to the paper. He always notifies us when he's off to expedition, and then lets us know when he gets back and what he's found. Local interest stories do pretty well, so we always carry it, and we always get good feedback from them. People are quite interested in his exploits in South America. What about it?
This is the point where I lean on Bernard and Nigel.
We've been asked to sort of see to some affairs by one of Mr. Cornthwaite's close friends, and he appears to have gone missing. We have reason to believe he didn't actually embark on his most recent expedition that you spoke about in the publication. Did he inform you sort of that was his plan to go, or did you know him to have gone on it?
Well, we do have this policy here that we kind of drew up with Mr. Cornthwaite, that we actually only report his expeditions about a month after he actually leaves on them. Because if there are any problems, we had an occasion, for example, that he found quite embarrassing, where he went to, I believe, Belize, and within a day of getting to Belize had to flee the country because of a military coup. So rather than report failed expeditions, we leave it a month, and then if we've not heard anything from him, we assume the expedition is going well and publish the story.
I see. So when was the last time that you actually heard from Mr. Cornthwaite, if you wouldn't mind me inquiring?
6 weeks ago, maybe 5 weeks ago.
Okay, and I take it his expedition was planned to leave 4 weeks prior to that.
No, his expedition was due to maybe it was more than that. I can't remember exactly, but normally what happens is he lets us know that he's going on an expedition, and then maybe 3 or so weeks after we publish the story. So yeah, presumably if it was about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and we published the story a week or two ago, that kind of tallies. He probably would have left that week or sometime just after that week.
And I take it that was the last you heard from him. You haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I mean,
since.
Normally we'd publish a story talking about him coming back, if and when he comes back. I mean, sometimes these expeditions have taken months.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't normally publish an update to it until we hear from him, and he sort of gives us the information about what he's been up to and where and what he's found. Quite often we carry photos of any particularly interesting artifacts that he's brought back with him, or any particularly interesting findings, or information about books that he's going to publish. I mean, this is quite an affluent area, so we have quite a lot of sort of intellectual people living around here, and they find these stories quite interesting.
Okay. You mentioned the photos of the artifacts. Do you keep a record of that, or could we have a look in your archive?
Sure, but as I say, the last that we heard of him, he was going on an expedition. We haven't heard anything from him since. So if he did, presumably, if you're investigating him being missing, the presumption here is that he came back. But if he did, he didn't notify us, unless you're investigating his disappearance in South America, which seems a bit odd to be here, if that's the case.
Yeah, we're not entirely sure what's happened, if we can be completely honest with you. Hence, sort of coming to speak to you guys. We're trying to get as clear a picture of his movements as possible. So, I mean, what you told us is very helpful anyway.
All I would say is that his last 10 or so expeditions, he has contacted the paper and let us know as soon as he's come back. So, if he did come back and didn't contact us, that would be very out of character for him.
Yeah, we're still trying to put together the chronology of his, as my colleague Bernard said, his most recent movements. We would be highly interested in the information and the pictures from his last expedition prior to this one, as that may well be useful information to us.
Well, I mean, I can tell you about the expedition that he was due to be doing.
Interesting.
That might be of more interest. I mean, I don't think it was related to the previous one. Basically, he had some idea that he'd found perhaps a lost tribe or a lost sort of tribal area, perhaps, and that what he wanted to do was to go off and investigate and find this temple of some sort that he claimed he had found references to in the kind of pictorial record of this tribe or tribes, and had put together an expedition to go and find this particular site, which apparently, thousands of years old, all that kind of interesting archaeological stuff. Whether he found it or not, I couldn't tell you, because that's, where he went out to, and we haven't heard from him since.
Well,
But I do know it was an area of deep jungle in Peru that no one had been to before. Or at least nobody from the Western world had particularly explored.
well, that's very useful information, and that does sort of line up with the picture that we're starting to put together. Can we leave behind our card, and if anybody contacts you regarding Mr. Cornthwaite, would it be possible for you to get in touch and let us know?
Certainly, yeah, by all means, just pop on the desk here.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you.
I'm sorry that I can't be of much more use, but as I say, normally he'd contact us as soon as he came back. So if he did come back, we don't know about it, I'm afraid.
Thank you very much for your help today. You've been great. Well done.
No problem. Cheers, fella. He turns back to his work. The conversation is obviously over.
Was there anything else we wanted to ask him? I feel like it seemed pretty straightforward to me. I didn't pick up on any nuance, like the fact that he was secretly a werewolf.
No, you
No.
didn't pick up on anything like that, as far as you can tell.
Um,
Doesn't appear to be a werewolf.
Sorry to disturb you once more, Charlie. Would it be possible for us to take a look in the archives? We are also just interested in some of the recent history surrounding his house as well.
Oh, are you talking about the whole murders thing that happened at the turn of the century?
Yes, well, we did find some reference to that, and we did just want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a local legend.
Almost.
It's like a local legend. There was a bloke who owned the place, and he apparently went mad and killed his servants and stuff, and then disappeared off the face of the earth. Hacked him up with an axe, So they called him the Mad Axeman. But yeah, very strange. Very, very strange. Yeah, Mr. Kerwin.
Do we know how far back the house dates to? How old it is?
1805. It's actually a pretty modern house.
And do you know if there was anything that stood there before the house?
No, as far as I know, it was a patch of land that was cleared from the trees and such to build the house on. I believe it was forestry land that was owned by a Mr. Fitzgerald, who was the one who built the house. It's kind of a local legend, that everyone knows the Fitzgerald house because of what happened there with Arthur Kerwin. Cornthwaite, of course, when he moved in, kind of scoffed at the rumours that it would be haunted by a mad axeman or whatever, or that the axeman had mutated and turned into some grotesque, hideous freak with an axe for a hand, or prior to that, when it was in a bit of a state of disrepair, because it had been a few years before someone had lived there, local teenagers would break in and smoke dope and tell ghost stories and spook themselves out. But yeah, it was just one of those places, I mean, I grew up in this area and we all knew about the Fitzgerald house.
Well, once again, thank you. You've been very helpful.
No worries, happy to help.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so you're heading back outside.
Yes, unless you guys want to consult the archives for any reason.
I just wanted to see if there were any like particular artifacts or anything. He was like, "Oh, I'm super into this," but I don't think we're going to find much there because he didn't tell them he was back from the most recent expedition.
We didn't seem to turn anything up in the trophy room, did we?
No.
Except for the books.
Well, no, the books were up in the attic.
Yeah.
I brought them down into the trophy room,
If
and I
we
didn't even skim read them, which was stupid. I should have.
Actually, it's because I was getting murdered.
Well, yeah, it was because you were getting murdered. So,
If we go back in there, do you think we should go for the books?
I mean, we could do. I don't know. I mean, the fact that he books them up means they've got information in them, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have bothered hiding it. It's just whether we can find it.
Leave with the books. I don't think we should go for the books.
But if we can get to them, we'll take them.
Yeah. If we survive whatever we're about to do, I think we should take the books.
Yeah.
By then it will just be a point of curiosity, but I don't think going upstairs should be our priority. I think going downstairs should be.
Yeah.
Why are these things always in the basement?
We don't have a key for that door. We're gonna
Oh,
have
I've got a pump action double barreled key.
like a pretty solid door. No. Did we want to go and get more bullets? Are we even allowed to buy bullets?
No,
Without a gun license.
you're not.
How
Legally,
many I have
legally you cannot
with
buy.
the other shotgun?
You have about a dozen shells.
The shotgun that we already had hidden in the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 pistols. They're not going to be that useful. The other alternative is if that door doesn't go, then the storeroom is probably collapsible.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what we would use to collapse it. Grenade. Fire.
Jumping up and down.
That's something I can help with.
Go jump up and down on it.
I'm pretty good at falling through floors at the moment.
Not to toot my own horn or anything.
Yeah. So I've got training in it. It's one of my
Okay,
skills.
so what's your plan?
Let's go Ghostbusters style.
We all get a sandblaster, or did you just get a sandblaster?
Your
Carl?
ball.
I thought we all got one.
Yeah,
I
you
think we all got one. Okay, cool.
And
So we are literally
salty overalls as well.
salty overalls.
Dum, 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 dum.
You're gonna get the stream copyright claimed.
Yeah, we're gonna. Is that possible?
What?
If we do the Ghostbusters theme, are we gonna get banned?
No.
Let's just do it in a key lower. So,
In a minor key. Just make it mournful and sad.
Just the fucking
75% speed.
Yeah. Ghostbusters Dirge.
Shall we
It sounds
climb
like a
back
fucking
into...
Gregorian chant when
Yeah,
you play that.
The Gregorian Busters.
are we gonna go and smoke this kipper?
Yeah, let's
let's
climb
do
back
it.
into Wecto 1.
Wecto 1.
Wecto 1 for now.
Can
One with a W.
form a mishappen simulacrum of Slimer out of my rags?
You're a wrong 'un, you are. Okay, so you drive back to the house, yes?
Yes.
Okay, you park up in the courtyard, and the house is still and silent.
So this thing's highly intelligent, so I feel like as soon as we go back in and as soon as we do something, it's gonna feel like these people have come back to fight me.
Yeah.
It's not stupid. So that's it. I feel like we're action, moving,
Or do we
decisions.
draw it out? Do we go in like, oh, we must have imagined it before, let it try and sneak up on us,
Maybe.
and then, blow, shoot it with salt?
That's a good idea. We'll casually walk towards the books, see if we can get to them, and then as soon as it attacks. Damn, should we have done something to make, we should have done like paint grenades, so that we can track the tentacles? Or like, just paint?
So,
Because they're hard to spot, aren't they?
They're not that hard to spot.
No, I failed quite a few times. Critical fail. Okay, so I guess we're alert for them, aren't we? We know what to look for.
yeah.
We're gonna have to go back through the main door, aren't we? So any ideas on our plan, or are we gonna just go in? Are we gonna go for the trophy room, or are we gonna go to try and explode the basement door with the shotgun? Nigel?
It's locked. My first thought was that it was a pantry and the guy we were looking for was in there. Obviously, after investigating, it's locked because it's down there. It's locked in.
I'm going to point out to you that I specifically said that the door was not locked, that the handle turned easily, it just didn't open.
It just doesn't open, yeah, because there's something behind it, because the thing is huge.
Just holding it shut.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Then how do we... Maybe it'll let us in.
Did we try knocking?
No, we didn't.
Maybe we should just knock. Hello, tentacle monster.
Storeroom then. How do we reliably collapse the storeroom?
Well, that would be a time for actual explosives, right?
I mean, to be fair, if there's like shelves and stuff and that, we just try and tip it all over into the middle of the room.
Yeah, that might do it.
I mean, was there furniture in the room, Keeper?
Yes. There was boxes and crates and bits of old furniture and all sorts of stuff.
Shall we do that
Grab all of
then?
it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Just shove it all into the middle of the room.
Yeah. Like tip things over.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's try that then.
Okay, so
who
you're going
wants
to
to
go up
go?
to the front door?
Yes, who wants to go first?
Well, you're the most familiar with the tentacle. Why don't you go first?
You got. So you have the biggest personal stake.
Or can you help me come up with a quip to say as we enter the building? Hello, Mildred. Okay, I'm going to tentatively open the door and keep my eyes out for the tentacles.
Okay. So, yeah, you walk in and the house is pretty much as you left it. Although the carpet underfoot is much wetter than it was before.
I'd like to turn on my dash cam, if that's possible. I want to be recording this.
Okay, yeah, you can be holding a camera and recording if you want.
Yeah.
I guess I can just drop it and spray if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame I didn't have gun-mounted camera. That would have been good. Okay, so can I make a listen check? I want to listen and see if I can hear squelching or anything.
Yeah, you can make a listen check if you like. Go for it. You hear nothing. The house is still and silent around you.
To that storeroom. Shut the door behind us. We just want to. We don't want to dawdle. We don't want to drag our
Yeah.
heels.
Let's get in, get out, quick, smart.
Okay, so you're in the storeroom. There is the sagged, cracked-looking section of floor in the middle, and kind of junk evenly spaced around the room. various, items like crates and old bits of furniture and a cracked mirror and various other things. Give me listen checks, everyone.
Oh.
Nigel, you go permanently deaf. No, I'm kidding. Bernard, you hear a noise like something kind of settling or subsiding somewhere
Somewhere where?
below you.
Guys, it sounds bad. I just thought I'd let you know. I can hear a
Open
noise.
for us.
I think it is.
Okay, well, here's a good idea. Let us empty out quite a bit of salt, like on the floor in here. Like, so empty some of our things, so that way whatever falls down will have salt in it. It might, upset it if it's underneath us.
There is a cracking, creaking sound from the centre of the room.
Can we see what's happening?
There is a cracking, creaking sound from the centre of the room. As you look,
Move
you
to
see
the
the
edge of the
floor
room.
in the middle of the room bulging slightly as though something is pushing against it. The cracking, creaking intensifies.
I'm going to get ready. I'm going to put my bead of my salt blaster right on that central area.
Suddenly, with a kind of a ripping, creaking, crushing sound, the floor explodes outwards. All of you please make dodge rolls. Okay, Bernard, you can put a check next to dexterity, I guess, because that's a critical success.
Wait, would it go next to Dex? Because that's a characteristic.
Yeah, dodge is a function of dexterity.
Oh, right, okay. So I want to... Wait, wouldn't I just want to check dodge?
I don't
Rather
think
than
I don't think dodge counts as a separate skill, does it?
Yeah, it's on the sheet. It's
Okay,
dodge,
yeah,
half
put a check next to dodge then.
Yes, sir.
So you become
Should-
slightly more adept at dodge.
Surely if a critical success improves a skill, shouldn't a critical failure degrade a skill?
No, because
Good.
screwing something up like that doesn't degrade a skill. That would be harsh. You're supposed to increase in abilities. Decreasing in abilities, yeah, okay. If you did something that meant that you lost a hand, then obviously you'd lose a lot of dexterity or something. But if you for example, if you shoot a gun and miss really badly, that doesn't mean that you're bad at shooting a gun. It just means that you took a bad shot. You don't unlearn a skill.
See, now I failed my dodge.
Like a person who crashes a car isn't worse at driving a car after they've crashed it, generally. They're just the same, it's just that they crashed. So, Carl, you failed your dodge, so take D2 damage, please. And bits of flying debris hit you. Nigel and Bernard, you both successfully dodge out of the way. A huge pulsating column of clear liquid shoots up through the floor and sort of adheres to the ceiling. Weird dark patches like eyes open and mouths with like tentacles like formed into like sharp teeth open and close randomly and disappear. Pseudopods emerge from it and coil towards you. All of you please make sanity checks.
Yay.
Oh. Hey.
Okay, so Bernard, you lose D4 sanity, the rest of you lose 1. Ooh, very nice. Okay, all of you recoil in horror as you recognise the boneless forms of bodies slowly being disintegrated inside the form. I should stress as well that this is not like it's not like a blob that's adhered to the ceiling. It's like it's a column, so it extends down into the floor as well.
Is it like digesting them? Is it like digestive enzymes?
Yeah, they're being digested away. And they apparently have no bones either. They're like floppy jelly forms of ick. the thing issues forth a kind of weird hissing, squelching sound, and a smell like not unlike sour milk and mint washes over you.
I'm gonna open fire with my blaster.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me an attack roll as though it's a flamethrower.
I don't assume you know exactly what the stats for a flamethrower are. 49.
I will need to open my thingy so I can tell you what the base for a flamethrower is.
I think this would fall under electrical repair.
No, it wouldn't. It is in fact a skill. So, flamethrower is base, I think, 20. Let me just double check. Base 10. Okay, so 49. Who else is squirting salt?
I'm gonna squirt some salt.
Okay.
Impressive,
Nigel.
Oh, Bernard's not having
Okay,
a great
so this
day.
is a really enclosed space. So basically, we're not really doing attack rolls to see whether you hit, because you're practically guaranteed to hit. We're giving you attack rolls to see how well you hit and how well you've reacted to this thing bursting through. So Carl, you basically are kind of rocked backwards and spray wildly and just catch it a glancing blow. Nigel, you keep your nerve and you spray it full on. And Bernard, you kind of you kind of fall backwards a bit in dodging the flying debris and basically shoot up at the ceiling. So, Carl?
Yes.
Roll me a d3. Okay, and Nigel, roll me a 2d6. Yeah, and Bernard, roll me a d2.
Ooh.
Okay,
There's a
so
what?
the first questing pseudopod that reaches towards you recoils, and the creature issues a kind of hissing sound. The other pseudopods begin to thrash, and more begin to burst through the floor, rapidly filling the room and coiling their way towards you.
I want to start throwing, because my throw skill I've trained is actually 26, in case you didn't know. After my throwing instance, after Throwgate, I'm going to start throwing bottles of salt at the kind of central floor column area where they're bursting out of.
The big
Just launching them at the
of,
centre of the room.
Clear gloop with like mouths and eyes and things on it.
Yeah, and where they're bursting out as well.
Okay, so yeah, you can give me a throw roll then.
Ooh.
Oh, critical success.
Told you I've been practicing.
Yeah, pop a check against your throw skill. You throw a parcel of salt straight into one of the mouths as it opens up, and you see a kind of puff of exploding salt within the creature's body. Give me 3d6.
Nice.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Okay, so Nigel and Bernard, you have time to act before whatever happens.
I want to spray some more salt.
Okay, yeah, flamethrower roll then.
That's a 12.
Very nice. Give me 3d6.
That's 11.
Awesome. And Nigel?
Bed in, don't cross the streams.
You're gonna
Bad. Less good.
give me 1d6. Okay, so the thing goes into a frenzy and starts smashing into the walls with some of its pseudopods. More of the sort of mass rises up through the floor, gradually swelling to encompass the room more. Holes are smashed into both the interior walls and the exterior walls. The window smashes outwards. It's kind of like oozing upwards to fill the room, essentially.
We should retreat.
You all need to make a dodge roll now because of all the tentacles that are kind of coming through the walls and the floor and the ceiling.
Yes! What do I do if I get 2 critical successes on the same skill?
You can only get 1 check per session, I'm afraid. Okay, so a pseudopod lashes towards Carl and smacks him royally in the head. Give me a d4, please, and take that much damage. Okay, awesome. Give me a dexterity check to see whether you fall over as well. Okay, yep, you don't fall over. You kind of hold your ground. You're rocked back on your heels. Nigel, you too, a tentacle kind of smacks you in the leg. So give me a d4 for damage. And give me a dexterity roll to see whether you get knocked over or not. Damn, you guys are sturdy today. Okay, so you both stay on your feet. The tentacles are kind of lashing around and this thing is kind of hissing and screeching in a really weird outre way. So what are you going to do? Are you going to retreat back through the house, or...?
I think we should fall back if it's filled the room.
It's filling the room, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should make... Otherwise it's just going to envelop us.
Yeah, I don't want to get enveloped.
Shall we try and fall back into outside the house?
We could do.
And then that way we've got space behind us to run.
Yeah, because it's mad. It's probably going to be like after us and trying to pursue us. I mean, it's a good idea. Would it be okay to throw a grenade and run, since that, like a assault bomb and run, or just?
Yeah. There will be a reduced chance of hitting, but given that it's kind of filling the room up, it's a pretty solid chance that you're going to hit anyway.
If I have it in a bandolier, can I throw the whole thing?
You can throw the whole
Definitely did
bandolier
that
if you
last
want to,
time.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that and then run out of the room and run.
Okay, give me a throw roll.
Come on, baby. Yes.
Okay, so the bandolier sinks into the mass of the creature, which goes into a thrashing fit, basically tearing chunks out of the walls, ceiling and floors of the room. You all retreat as pseudopods burst through the walls around you, raining debris everywhere. The thing is going into a kind of thrashing frenzy, so you're all going to have to make dodge rolls to get through this corridor.
Okay. Come on. That's not great.
Okay, so Bernard and Nigel, you're going to have to make dexterity checks.
Okay. I have a better time with that anyway. That's under my dex. My dex is 80.
Okay, so what's your dexterity, Nigel?
53.
53?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so one of the tentacles whip towards you, but you manage to evade them quite adeptly. They barely graze you as they kind of whip around in a frenzy. The whole house seems to be coming down around you now as the tentacles burst through every surface available and basically smash the place up. Where are you going now?
Out the front door.
Alright, so you crash through the front doors and into the yard. You can see that the house itself now is being consumed by this thing, this huge mass of clear, greenish white jelly with sort of floating forms inside and eyes and mouths and tendrils forming seemingly at random. It surges towards you all. What do you want to do?
Maybe it wanted salt to grow and it left all of those clues around there to trick us.
But nah.
Could have.
It seems to be in pain when we're using salt on it.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we should have put like a salt barrier around the house, around the front of the house.
Maybe
Like salt sandbags.
We probably definitely should have done that.
Can
Seems
we
a bit late now.
How fast is it moving towards us, Keeper?
Pretty fast, but
How big? How big is it?
it's big enough that any attempt to spray salt at it is probably going to hit it unless you critically fail.
We like walk backwards, like retreat
Yeah, sure.
while spray.
Yeah, let's do that. Tactically retreat.
Okay.
Okay, so give me flamethrower rolls.
Oh.
Okay,
Come on, Nigel.
so Nigel.
Oh, you go then.
Nigel, give me a d6, and Bernard and Carl give me 3d6 each.
Well.
Sorry, Nigel, I think we lost you there for a second.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, right, okay. Someone's got TV on in the background, I think. Okay, so the salt sprays into it, gouging furrows out of it, and it goes into even more of a thrashing frenzy. The upper floor of the house collapses in on itself, and more tendrils kind of poke out into the sky. The whole thing is quite terrifying and quite unsettling, so all give me sanity checks, please.
I was going to say it feels like we're remarkably sane for witnessing this.
Who failed?
I think I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
I failed.
Okay, so for failing, please take d6 sanity. For passing, take d3 sanity damage.
I think I might have just gone temporarily insane.
Alright, so what I want you to do now is make a luck roll for me.
Everyone.
No, just Carl.
Okay.
That looks like a fail to me.
It
So,
is a fail.
as a consequence of going temporarily insane, you are overcome by fear and you throw down your sandblaster and run headlong away from the house and the horrible thing that you've seen. So, for the next few rounds, essentially, all you're going to be able to do is try and control yourself. So, what I want you to do is just roll sanity checks. When you pass a sanity check, you will come back to normal.
Would it be logical for me to be running towards the van?
Yeah, you're running towards the van.
Okay.
Nigel and Bernard, what would you like to do? The tentacles are kind of whipping towards you again. You will have to dodge them.
Spray more salt, right? Like, keep retreating?
We're in it.
Yep.
Do or die.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
That is not good.
That is a critical fail. So
That is bad.
Carl's reaction to what's happened here unsettles you enough that you kind of just wildly spray some salt and miss. You just stitch it up the wall. Nigel, give me a d6. Okay, now all of you need to make a dodge roll, except for Carl, who is running away.
Oof. By 1.
By the skin of your teeth. Nigel, what was your dodge skill? What, sorry? 67.
27.
27, okay. So give me a strength check. Oh, you're very lucky. A tentacle kind of brushes against your face in a really unpleasant caress, but doesn't quite grab you. I critically failed and Nigel rolled really well for that, so...
Your face feels slightly exfoliated.
Okay, the creature is kind of thrashing around and making this horrible, foul sound. Carl, give me a sanity check. That's a fail. You peg it back to the van. You are scrabbling at the van door now, trying to open it, but because of your kind of insane state, you've forgotten that the van door is locked and you can't remember how to unlock it.
Maybe it's one of those sliding side doors, and I'm trying to like open it like a hinge.
Yeah, that works for me. So the creature goes into what would appear to be its death throes. There is a hideous screeching rending sound and the house collapses inwards. There is a sound almost of like a sigh for a second. And then the creature goes into an absurd shaking, thrashing fit, hurling rubble high into the air. All of you please make a dodge roll.
Oof.
Okay, so Nigel and Carl, you take 1d4 damage from the rubble being flung around everywhere. Bernard, I'm afraid you take 1d8.
Oh no! Oh dear! Oh no! Oh no! I'm on 5 HP.
Okay.
Of 1.
Okay, so the house collapses and the creature kind of recedes into itself as a spray of salt, steam, and smoke blossoms outwards. It appears to be dead, everyone.
Appears to be?
Yeah, it just appears to be like a kind of steaming residue left in the ruins of the building.
Salt on it.
Sorry, missed that, Nigel.
I'd like to spray some salt on it.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Cool. I think we did it.
Okay. There is a sound from behind you. The sound of an engine roaring. It's a very distinctive engine, and a helicopter streaks overhead. Before circling round and coming into land, several men pile out of the helicopter, dressed in army gear.
Mm-hmm.
With
Oh
guns.
dear.
They fan out and form like a perimeter and kind of give you glowers. A man, not dressed in army gear but in a suit, a very nondescript suit, steps out and walks towards you.
Am I still insane?
You have calmed down somewhat now.
Is he smoking a cigarette?
He is not smoking a cigarette.
Okay.
He walks up
Were
to
you asking if he was a smoking man?
He walks up to you and he looks you up and down kind of casually and says, "We'll take it from here. Don't talk to anyone about this. Otherwise, we will find you and we will take steps." He very casually tucks almost like a business card into your Bernard's front pocket. Bernard happens to be the closest person, and then turns away from you as though not paying you any attention anymore.
Well, I think that's our cue to leave, right? Let's get in the Wystery machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
We can't talk to what's his name? The guy who told us to do this.
We'll just have to,
He's like a lord, isn't he? So we could just say to him, "Listen, there's military guys there. We're not allowed to talk to anyone about it. I suggest you use your own connections to find out if you're interested, but we can't have contact anymore." Something like that.
I wouldn't even go that far. I'd just say we've decided to abandon the investigation. And
Oh yeah,
Do you
maybe.
want to call up Jeffrey?
Yeah, just unfortunately, and
Hello?
I mean, we could say we have been strongly advised to drop the
Hello,
investigation.
Lord Castleford's residence. How can one help you?
Oh, hello there, sir. Could we
we've
speak
not
to
called him
Mr.
yet. We're still talking about it.
Okay.
Oh, well, we have now, apparently. I was just going to ad-lib it.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking we just say, like, not
Is-
that we're giving the money back and that we can't continue the investigation. Just leave it as that.
Yeah, but what if he then, gets himself into trouble? Or if we say we've been strongly advised to cease the investigation and we can't say any more on it, we haven't broke the terms to the army guy, and we also have told him enough that he can, use his own connections to figure it out.
Maybe just say that our suspicions in the previous telephone conversation appear to be confirmed.
Yeah.
So at least they know he's dead.
We want to speak to him directly instead of his butler, right? If we can.
That's probably a good idea, actually. Yeah, because you
Yeah,
don't know
not-
if Jeeves
we-
works for some other.
Well, Deeps just could be like would choose not to tell him if he thought we were time wasting, right? So let's ring him. Ring, ring.
Lord Castleford residence. How can one help you?
Oh, hello there, sir. Is Mr. Castleford available to speak to directly at the moment?
Is this the gentleman contracted to find Mr. Cornthwaite?
It is indeed.
Yes, in that case I shall put you through. There's a sort of noise and then, like a transfer tone, and then the phone is immediately picked up. You recognise the voice on the end as Lord Castleford. Hello, gentlemen. After your last missive, I contacted some friends in the government, and they assured me that they would handle the issue. So I don't need your assistance where this is concerned anymore. I do apologise for wasting your time. I would like to offer you 3 days rates, just to make up for the fact that I am kind of calling the dogs off, as it were. And I do trust that you will hold your discretion in this matter. Unfortunately, it behooves me to point out that the consequences of not doing so could be quite dire indeed.
Discretion is our middle name, so we operate with the highest levels of keeping stum. Well, you wouldn't have to even mention to us.
Well, that's surely good to hear there,
but-
folks. I'm very glad to hear it, and I do so hope that you will not feel that I have wasted your time in a sort of fruitless quest.
No, not at all, sir. Not at all. They say it's the journey and not the destination, and this has certainly been an interesting journey.
Indeed, and one does say that, what occurs in the Peruvian jungle should probably stay in the Peruvian jungle.
Yes, I think I can probably agree with that after this.
Well, in that case, gentlemen, I should bid you good day. I have instructed Geoffrey to pass on the monies concerned, and again, you have my thanks and my commiserations and apologies for apparently wasting your time.
No problem at all. Thank you very much.
A pleasure. I shall be in contact if you can help me with any other matter, I am sure. Good day. He puts the phone down.
Well, he solved all of our problems for us, didn't he?
Okay, so yeah, well done. You managed to beat the thing without dying. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, I can't believe we did that.
So,
I think we're on borrowed time, definitely.
For sure.
so yeah,
Point.
how did we all feel about that?
That was very fun.
It was really tense.
What
It
was
was. Yeah, also that. Do we get to know what the tentacle monster was?
Well, that would be telling, wouldn't it? What you can all do, though, is for defeating it so resoundingly, you can all roll 4d6 and add that to your sanity totals as long as it doesn't take them over the max.
Ooh.
I'm certain it won't for me. My sanity's terrible.
I've actually got very good sanity at the moment. I didn't lose much from the last adventure. 13.
That's some pretty good rolls.
Sanity total listed on the sheet. Where is the sanity total? Because it's got current sanity, but there's 2 boxes next to it.
You have a maximum
Baby.
sanity, which is the sanity you started with.
Okay.
But
I
that's
have
been reduced by the fact that you have Cthulhu Mythos points now.
Yes. Okay. Cool. And then I got 2 critical successes, right?
You did, so we can roll to see whether you get those. So what was it? Dodge and shotgun.
It was dodge and shotgun, yeah.
Okay, so let's start with shotgun. It's
Okay.
D100, and you want to fail this, which
Yeah,
you do. So
that's
you're
a
going to
fail.
add D6 to your shotgun skill.
Okay. So I get 2 to my shotgun skill. That's
Same
very
with dodge.
nice. So it's 25 normal, so it'd be 25, 27. Okay. And with dodge. Oh, yep. There we go. That is a fail, just about. So I'm on
D6
42
on that one as
now.
well.
D6. Hey, I get another 6 there, which puts me on 48.
So who else got critical successes there?
Did I succeed a throw critically?
I
Yes,
think you did.
you did. So fail a throw roll for me.
Very
Yeah.
terribly.
Yeah, I failed.
Alright, so
Nice.
your d6.
All of my practice throwing paid off. I'm now up to 28.
Nice. Nigel, I don't think you got any, did you?
No.
Sad
Not
times.
enough.
Sad
Yeah.
times. By the way, the business card that was tucked into your pocket simply reads, await further instructions.
Oh, okay. I'm writing that down.
There's no number or name or anything else on it. It just says await further instructions. And yes, you have successfully navigated the cracked and crooked manse. And I'm actually going to call it there because I really need to go to the toilet. And there's not really much else to say about it. So we will reconvene next Thursday. And we will see whether any events transpiring from this have any bearing on anything going on.
Oh.
There were many puzzles and questions in that one, I think.
I'm posting a thing in the general that is when you were describing the column of tentacle monster. It kind of reminded me of this, and I figure
Was it
everyone should read it.
Is it
I thought it was going to be the thing, you know, when
No,
it goes up on the roof, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
That's what
I
I
mean-
had a vision of, it like splitting up onto there. Like
Is it
dog.
a Junji by any chance?
You know it's a Junjito. It's
What's
the
it-
thing that
what's it-
drifted ashore.
Indeed.
Can we
What is
officially call ourselves seasoned veterans now?
Yes, you can.
Yay.
So well done for surviving, especially given that Carl came very close to death previously.
To be fair, that it was only at the very end that I dropped down from 4 to 1 with the debris. But I think running out of the room when we did was probably the right call.
Yes, I would agree.
It would have been nice to see the basement and to see what was actually down there.
I don't think there was anything but tentacle monster down there. I think it was just
Tentacle monster and bones.
It's huge.
Tentacle monster and bones. It can't digest bones, so it just kind of excretes them. So there was just like lots of bones of dead people down there.
Oh, I thought it was going to be dissolving them.
Just for clarity's sake as well, there are a few things that I can reveal to you. Had you read the books that you found in the attic, you would have found a journal of the investigation, of the expedition that he did, and basically they angered the natives. The natives summoned something that chased them through the jungle and ate them one by one.
Ooh.
And he managed to get away with a few other people, and they headed back to England. And this thing basically rode along in his pocket like a spore of it.
Yeah, that's what we'd assumed, that it was like a spore or a
And
seed or something.
that's what destroyed the chest upstairs, bursting out of his clothes.
Yeah, okay, so we got that right. I regretted not reading the chest of books because I was like, oh, you,
okay.
you got given a chest of books. There's lore in there. There's a lot of things
It's
in
alright.
there.
It all kind of went on, and Nigel's computer is completely frozen. So we will say goodnight there and reconvene next Thursday for a new adventure. So thank you very much. I'm going to go to the loo.
Alright, well, night everybody. And,
Good night.
Well done.
we'll
Good night, guys.
See you all soon.
Bye.
That was super fun.
It was.
Bye.
Bye.